Something we need to take care of, the war propaganda. We have this article, supposed ISIS beheading of American journalist. The corporate media is employing adverbs, purportedly, seemingly, apparently, to describe the reported beheading of American freelance journalist James Wright Foley. On Tuesday, a video was posted on YouTube allegedly showing Foley's beheading. The video is titled "A Message to America" and shows a man said to be Foley on his knees. Now, I haven't had a chance to see the full video of this because I haven't been able to find it. I looked on YouTube, Live Links, several other sources. The best thing I could find was a guy who was on his knees and a knife comes to his throat, then it cuts and it ends up with a guy laying on the ground with his head chopped off, which leads a lot of people to speculate the authenticity of this video. So I can't so much speak on that, but I can speak on how this is being used. The war drums are being beaten. Barack Obama came out with a very quick reaction to this. U.S. will do what it must against the cancer of IS.
From governments and peoples across the Middle East, there has to be a common effort to extract this cancer so that it does not spread. There has to be a clear rejection of these kind of nihilistic ideologies. One thing we can all agree on is that a group like ISIL has no place in the 21st century.
And that's from a good, strong speech from Obama. He talks a good game. But the issue is, as much as he doesn't like ISIS, he's funding people, the Syrian rebels, who are doing the similar actions to ISIS, cutting off people's heads, burning down entire villages. So as much as he wants you to act like he cares about the situation, he's arming people who are doing the exact same thing. But it doesn't stop with President Obama. The CFR is now involved. CFR boss calls for military action against ISIS. Richard Haass, director of the Council on Foreign Relations, and a former high-level functionary at the State Department, is calling for attacking ISIS. His tweet reads, "Foley murder shows ISIS a global threat. Need to broaden U.S.-led campaign beyond humanitarian and protection of U.S. personnel to the strategic." The CFR, as Hillary Clinton has repeatedly admitted, drives U.S. foreign policy. So you have these guys all around from Obama on down saying that, hey, we need to go to war with ISIS, another boogeyman. We can't just have Al-Qaeda after 9/11. Now we need a new boogeyman. So they want to go out and, I guess, combat ISIS. But the issue is you have ISIS that isn't really confined to any one particular area. So if you declare war against an enemy with no specific nation, then what are you going to do? You see the map of ISIS, their 5-year plan has big chunks of Africa and other areas blacked out, saying this is how we plan to expand in the next 5 years. Also in Ferguson, Missouri, we see the guys walking around behind the TV crews with the ISIS is here flags and all that stuff. So, how are we going to combat ISIS? Do we need to send more troops to Ferguson, Missouri to fight ISIS? Do we need to send more troops, more boots on the ground in Africa to combat ISIS? And that's the issue with this. Meanwhile, you have them funding people who are doing the exact same things as ISIS, but they hate that when, ISIS does it. The thing that I hate, attacks on my Second Amendment rights. Smart gun inventor threatens Attorney General Eric Holder, I'll burn it down. Smart gun inventor Bill Gentry of Kodiak Industries threatened in a closed 2013 meeting with Attorney General Eric Holder to, quote, burn it down, end quote, if his new technology is mandated by gun control laws. Gentry's IntelliGun includes a patented trigger lock device that can be only unlocked by a fingerprint, much like an iPhone. And while I do respect people, advances in technology, if you want a smart gun, then go get a smart gun. I personally don't want one, and I'm very happy to see this guy come out and say, hey, I don't want this to be mandated across the board. Because just like you think about a cell phone, a cell phone has a kill switch. They have the various technologies where they can burst into your cell phone. Hey, Amber Alert, they kidnapped this little girl, which is very unfortunate. It's something you may want to be abreast of. But let's say they put the same technology into a gun. They suspect that a kidnapper is in a certain region. Let's kill everybody's gun in this region so we can go catch the bad guy. Or even the situation in Ferguson. Let's say everybody out there had a smart gun. The police show up, kill everybody's gun. And you say, well, why wouldn't you want people to be unarmed in that situation? Because you have the shop owners out there trying to protect their property. They need their firearm. The people who live in that community, they don't want somebody trying to bust in their house. They need the firearm to protect themselves. So, I'm very much against a mandated smart gun, but if you want one, that's ultimately your business. And let's talk about the business of the green movement, because, this is some mean green going on here. Solar power plants downside, birds igniting in midair. Federal wildlife investigators who visited Bright Source Energy plant last year and watched as birds burned and fell reported an average of one streamer, that's a burning bird, every 2 minutes, are urging California officials to halt the operator's application to build a still larger facility. So what they want to do is have even more solar farms, and I think solar is great. I think it's a great alternative energy. I'm interested in it myself. I just can't afford it at this juncture. But I think it's a great technology. But if you have these large solar farms killing your birds, just like you have the big wind farms killing the bats, you need to take these things into account, because you can't say I'm doing my part to be green when you're killing off the wildlife. And meanwhile, you're all snooty and you're trendy because you drive around in your Prius, even though it's powered by coal power. You just put the electric socket into it. So just more food for thought. And speaking of food, we're talking about not only the food but the water when we come back after this break. Rob Dew will be talking about the threats you may face if you do not do the filtered water system like we have here at Infowars.com. Also, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs will be documenting the situation from last night in Ferguson, Missouri. And also Larry Pinckney will give you the whole breakdown of what he thinks about President Obama's current regime. This is the Infowars Nightly News. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. Today I'd like to talk about the war on women. You've experienced and heard about the benefits of Super Male Vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Each of these ingredients works synergistically with the female body in order to maximize overall vitality. You've heard the reviews and the feedback on how the original Super Male Vitality has revitalized relationships. Now, both the man and the woman can have the revitalization in their own bodies with Super Male Vitality and Super Female Vitality. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.